Max Payne 3. So we start right away with the bad. I want to get the bad things out of the way. And this is one of them. The game starts me off after a cutscene. I was using the rifle. A cutscene breaks out in the middle of a battle, or sort of in between parts of a battle. And you resume action, and instead of still having the rifle, you have the pistol. This happens all the time in this game. You're using a weapon. Maybe it's the rifle, or maybe it's the shotgun, and there's a small break in the action. A little cutscene or something breaks in, and you resume action, and you're not on the weapon that you were currently using. You're back to the pistol. In this case, it gave me it put me back on the pistol, which had no ammo in it. So I go to draw on a bad guy, and I've got a pistol with no ammo. That happens quite a lot in this game. It's very annoying. That's one of my pet peeves with this game. The other one is when a cutscene interrupts picking up loot. So sometimes there'll be a big battle scene. You'll kill a bunch of the bad guys. Every time you kill a bad guy, they drop ammo and weapons. And so, you kill a bunch of guys, and you know that there's a bunch of ammo and weapons to pick up. And then a cutscene interrupts, and sometimes the cutscene is you walking away from the scene and starting the next scene. And this is something I don't remember the other two Max Paynes ever doing, so that's also really annoying. Two big pet peeves in this game. There's a couple other small ones too, but the game is not perfect. It's Max Payne 3. So get the bad things out of the way first. Those are the two biggest gripes I have with this game. Like I said, there's a few small other issues, but overall it's a great game, and there's a lot of good things about it too. The physics are really good. When you shoot bad guys, they react really nicely to how they get hit, and sometimes they stumble around and they trip over things, and if they fall off a ledge, the ragdoll effects are really good. So it's as a shooter, it's fun to shoot the bad guys, and so that's a good thing. Obviously the graphics are outstanding. At least I think they are. I don't really remember when this game came out. Apparently it was well received. I seem to remember people not liking it, but it got all really good scores. All the major review websites and stuff, it looks like it was getting 80s, mid 80s. So apparently it was pretty well received when it came out. I kind of skipped it when it came out, and I think I originally got it on PS3. I don't know why. I think it was used, and it was in a used game store, and it was really, really cheap. So I picked it up on PS3. I don't usually play first-person or third-person shooters on a console if I have a choice. Obviously, Max Payne 1 and Max Payne 2, I was a big fan of both of those, and I played both of those on the PC. And so I started to play this game on PS3, got like a couple of chapters in, and it was just like, meh. Stops playing it, and never really played it again until years later. And this was already like, when did this game come out? 2012. This game came out in 2012. It was probably a couple years after it came out when I eventually picked it up on PS3 again. It was cheap and it was used. And it was a few years after that I picked it up on the PC. And again, I never really played it. I actually had some issues with the DRM that Rockstar uses. So they have like their social, I think it's called the social club thing, and you have to make a login for that. And I had an issue with that where I used an email that I got rid of. I think it was like a Microsoft Hotmail account that I never used. I didn't use it for years. I ended up deleting it. And then years later, realizing that that's the email I used for my Rockstar social club thing. And so just recently, I wanted to play this game again, so I thought I got to figure out this Rockstar thing. I had to email, the tech support at Rockstar, and it took a while. There was a lot of back and forth, about 10 emails going back and forth over about 20 days by the time they got it sorted out. So I wasn't too impressed with that. But then I started playing the game, and again, the things I like about it obviously came to the forefront. Again, I really like the physics. It's just fun shooting, guys. And it's a shooting game, so can't be too bad. I can't be too bad. All the guns feel great. All the guns have modifications that you can do to them. You can find secret hidden parts to soup up the guns. And so yeah, really just got into the game further than maybe 4 chapters in, just recently, just now, and I've played it through and I beat it. So yeah, 8 years. What this game? 2012. Yeah, 8 years. 7 years. 7 years ago this game came out, and I finally beat it now. So I got past the things I don't like, looked past that, got through the game, and for the most part, I enjoyed it. For the most part, I really liked it. Some of the other little things that I don't like about this game, there's maybe just too many cutscenes. It's not Metal Gear Solid bad, but I mean there's a lot of cutscenes. So there's a lot of times it's a small battle gets interrupted with the cutscene, and then the small battle continues, and then it gets interrupted with the cutscene, and then the small battle continues. There's a lot of cutscenes in this game that interrupt the flow. The other thing I don't like about this game is, they're sort of trying to portray, Max Payne. He's an alcoholic, and he's addicted to painkillers, and he's always hungover. And so the screen during the cutscenes is always flashing and turning black and white, or there's scan lines fading in and out, doing all these effects to make it kind of portray that he can't concentrate, I guess. His mind is sort of scattered all over the place. And I guess they thought it was a cool effect, but they use it way too much. It gets really annoying. To me, it ruins the cutscenes. I hate the cutscenes because of that effect. Maybe you can turn that off in the options. Honestly, never looked. It would be great if you can. Again, right there, the guy falling over. Great example of the ragdoll physics. Again, this game's awesome. The stuff that is good is really good. I didn't realize this game was using the Rage engine at the time. Probably, again, wasn't too interested in this game at the time. So, I mean, most people probably knew that. But yeah, the game looks awesome. I think it still looks good today. Graphics hold up pretty well. The physics are awesome. The way guys react to where they get hit is really good. And the cover system's okay. I mean, this is a departure from the first two. I don't really use the bullet time in this one. You use a cover system more often, so it's a little bit different than the first two. It's not developed by the same company. I mean, the first two were developed by Remedy, and this one was developed by Rockstar Studios. So it's a different Max Payne game, and I think a lot of people that were really big fans of the first two, maybe they're the people that were, I remember complaining about this one when it came out. So like I said, I do remember people not liking this game very much, yet it got really good reviews and everything, so I think it's just the people that were really big fans of the first two didn't like this one, because it is different. The levels are a little more linear in this one. The cutscenes interrupt your exploring, and you don't really need to use the bullet time. You use a cover system more often instead. So, yeah, it turned into a cover shooter, I guess, which was, I guess, the thing at the time. So, it changed, but it's a pretty good game. It's long. It took me about 12 hours to beat. That's longer than the other two by quite a bit. So there's a lot of storyline here, and that's a good thing too. So Max Payne 3, if you didn't play it, maybe check it out now.